last one I got here, I bought from a friend of mine, and again, it's all over what I do here and there. The Fender VI Baritone.
Oh, that's a fabulous guitar.
Like, if you listen to anything by The Cure or New Order, you're going to hear this thing.
Now explain to people, I mean, what is a baritone guitar? Why do you use a baritone guitar as opposed to a regular guitar? And I'm going to try to get a close-up of the strings because you can see that there's a difference with them.
With this particular guitar anyway, it's tuned just like your standard guitar, E, A, D, G, B, E, except the strings are an octave lower. You follow? So, that's the high E there, whereas it might be like the low E on your standard.
Right. So I mean, this guitar is essentially, and the gauge of the strings is always much different. It's like the gauge is. What's the gauge on the E string?
Ooh, I don't even know. It's been a while since I changed.
Well, let's.
Strings,
hold on.
but,
Let me
feel it out there.
That's got to be at least like a 30.
Sure, let's go with that. But actually, the ones from I think Fender just started reissuing these again. The ones that were from the '60s and maybe the early '70s go for about $3,500 to $4,000. This was the one I bought for my friend. He bought back in 1995, and it was when they were reissuing them again. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
And you play them. I mean, you get a different thing. You get kind of it's like this a guitar, but you're playing it much lower.
Right.
Obviously, is what you're getting. It also kind of you see a lot of times. I always think of like the big old, like the Mexican guitars.
That too, and I've heard, and I think there's like some. What's his name? Jimmy Vaughn used a lot of baritone and a lot of like Fabulous Thunderbirds type stuff. Not that I'm a big fan, but I remember hearing that.
And you don't bend notes on that, and you don't
Not so much, but it sounds really, really thick if you add some distortion to it, especially in the lower registers here. And a lot of the metal guys are using baritones and getting like ESP baritones and 7-string baritones. Like, how much lower do you have to go?
So it's kind of like like the Spinal Tap thing on bass, lead bass.
Totally.
Yeah. So
totally.
I mean, I guess the short and long of it is it's in between a guitar and a bass.
Yes.
You've got you've got like about the middle strings of the guitar and the lowest string of the bass is essentially what you're playing there.
Right. And funny thing too is on the early Cream stuff, Jack Bruce played a Fender VI. Throughout most of Cream's career, and when in fact people thought he was playing bass, well, you're playing bass parts on like this middle of the line, not quite a bass, not quite a guitar, it's like right in the middle there, but it's covering the low end.
Oh, great. Now I want one of these, too. I was like, I'm stopping myself at 6, and now I'm going, well, maybe I need a baritone, too.
Come on. How can you stop at 6? That's nothing. So, that's it.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. Marqui Adora.
MarquiAdora.com.